Good morning, teacher. Good morning, teacher. Good morning.
Mary Rosie. Now all of you. So we are still on the same subject of solving a pair of simultaneous equations. So far we have looked at the three approaches. We looked at elimination, and we looked at substitution. Okay? So today we are going to look at the graph. That's where we want to have a discussion on how do we use the graph. Now, simultaneous equations, it could be a pair or they could be more than two. The value of x and the y, if they're x and y, or the values of the unknowns must satisfy both equations. So if that is true, then the graph is simply telling us that their meeting point, call it a point of intersection, is actually giving us the values of the unknowns. Because the two values must satisfy both equations. Let me ask Adye, Shakila, and Jagendak to mute. There are echoes in the room. Shakila, good, wonderful. Theodora, Melaine, mute. Melaine, okay, Melaine. At least there is no disturbance. So I remember when we ended our last lesson, I asked you to prepare your graph papers or graph.
Yes.
I hope you have prepared them. And I asked you to prepare a long ruler. We call it a long ruler because it is longer than the one of the set. So I hope they are prepared and we are going to look at an example and illustration. So an example here. Okay. Use a graph solve the following pair. I hope you can see down here. Yes, pair of equations. Okay. And we're having 2x plus y is equal to 3, and 3x plus y is equal to 4. Let us have that. Okay, so we have this as our illustrative question. We are going to use it to see how we use the graph to solve simultaneous equations. The approach is simple. Just to draw each of these lines, because these are straight lines, just draw each of these lines on the same graph. Where they meet, the value of x and the value of y will give us the solution to this pair of simultaneous equations. So I want us to start by looking for, when we are drawing a straight line, any 3 pair of coordinates is enough. But you can have more than 3, but not less than 3. When you plot less than 3, you may have issues of accuracy. So let us first look for any 3 coordinates on each of the lines. So for line 2x plus y is 3, we comfortably use a table and we tabulate our values. So we are going to pick any 3. And because I want you to be involved, those 3 please mix up the integers. Mix negatives and positives. So let me ask the person who is up here. Balia. Alia Balia. Can you talk to me? Alia Balia. Tayagara Kogira. Okay. Let me talk to Mutes. Mutes. Leila. Okay, let me talk to Nantongo. I think for her she's willing. Nantongo.
-1.
You have -1.
0.
0.
And 1.
And 1. Good. So our relationship between x and y is that twice x added to y will give you 3. So we are going to look for what will happen to y when x is -1. So you simply substitute. Your relationship is 2x plus y is 3. But our x is -1 for this one. Plus y is 3. This is purely -2 plus y is 3. This will give you y as 5. Okay? I hope everyone is comfortable. So I'm going to give 2 minutes so that you look for what is y when x is 0 and what is y when x is 1 for this relationship. So I'm giving you 2 minutes. I'm starting to time now. Then I'll ask one of you, whoever will be willing to say something, will share. So that you are involved. Okay? Thank you.
Things want to be made. I've not understood.
After 2 minutes, okay, I'm back. Let me start with Mina. Mina Joy.
Excuse me, teacher, I don't get how you get that X.
So where'd you get -1?
From that. From that table.
Okay, Mina, now you can talk to me. My audio is solo.
I don't get the way you solve this thing of X, getting -1, 0,
Mina,
and
you're so soft. Mina, I know you were girl, but you're so soft. You try to be louder.
Teacher, I don't get how you got the -1, 0, and the 1.
Mina, we say we choose our own values of x. We choose our own coordinates. Eh? And I said any 3. But I said it's better you mix in negative. So it was Nantongo Asia who suggested those values. You yourself, you could have suggested different ones, but the line will be the same. So can I talk to Kirabo? I hope I've answered Mina. Kirabo? Kirabo, you were not talking, so let me talk to Namubiro.
Teacher, I was giving my answers like for
Namubiro,
0.
thank you. Namubiro? When what
For 0, when my x is 0, my y is 3, and when my x is and when my x is the next one, my y is 1.
Your y is 1. Okay, I hope the other hands you have the same value. Thank you, Namubiro.
Yes.
Okay. Abasha, are you fine?
Yes.
Naikesa, Olikusa. Naikesa.
Same answer.
Eh,
Same
okay.
answers.
Same answer. Good. So now we can write our coordinates. Minus 1, 5, 0, 3, 1, 1. Okay? So we are going to use those 3 coordinates to draw our line. Please, those whose mics are open, you try to mute. What will you get? What will you get?
So you're not clear.
I'm not clear. Now I'm saying, hey, I'm saying we have already got our coordinates. Eh? So I'm asking you to draw your graph, plot these coordinates, and you draw a line through them. That is our line that we are looking for. Are we ready? Again. Tracy.
Excuse me, teacher. How did 3 and 1 come about?
We have already made a choice of our x as 0 and 1. So we are using our own choices of x to determine the values of y. And I'd ask you to try using this illustration here, but I can try with you. This was when x was minus 1. If we put x as 0, and you substitute here 0 in the place of x, 2 times 0 is 0, plus y is 3. You will agree with me that y will be 3.
I've understood. Thank you.
So you do the same for 1, eh?
Yes.
Okay, good girl. So the rest you have already your graphs? I'm also drawing mine, which is not accurate, but you are drawing one which is accurate. So you make sure your scale is uniform, whereas you calculate 1, 2, 3, and so on. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on. Please make sure your scale is uniform. If you choose a scale of 2, use 2. A scale of 1, use 1. So I have minus 1, 5. Minus 1, 5 will be here. Minus 1, 5. 0, 3 will be here. Okay. And the 1, 1 will be here. So this is 2x plus y is 3. For me, finished. I hope everyone has finished.
Yes, yes. Yes, teacher.
Alia, you're finished. They will be also.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please. This is who? Alia. Yes, Alia.
Teacher. Yes. I I was asking how you got X.
How I got? Ali, how I got what?
How you got X?
X.
Yes.
Ali, X is an open choice of values. Eh? The values of X is an open choice. You pick whatever values of X you want. That was Nantongo's choice. Now, Ali, I'm going to ask your choice on the second line. So keep around and alert. When I call your name, you come up. Let me talk to Mina Jo. Mina.
So teacher, how do we state our answer?
We have not yet had the answer. We are still drawing the lines so that we can see where they meet.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Mugabe, why is your mic open? You want to say something?
What are the figures up?
Huh?
No.
Okay, mute. So we are now going on the second line, yeah? The second line is
So what is the first line?
x plus y is equal to 4. Pardon?
The first line.
The first line is already there on the graph. Are we okay with it?
Yes.
Okay. So we are on the second line. We have already drawn this one. Eh? We are now going to draw this one. So Aliyah, come back and give me any values of x you want, as long as you mix in positives and negatives. Aliyah,
2.
yes?
2.
2. I need 3.
3.
Make sure you mix in some negatives.
Negative 3.
Negative 3.
Negative 4.
Okay, negative 3. So, Aliyah, do you see where we get our values of x?
Yes.
It is just an open choice.
Okay.
As long as you mix in positives and negatives. I had somebody called Shanice with the hand up. Shanice, can you come back and ask what you wanted to ask?
Sorry, it was a mistake.
It's okay. Okay. Let me talk to Moiti. Listen.
Teacher, like we are only supposed to list the values of x. What if we choose to put the values of y?
You can choose to list the value of y and look for the values of x. It is okay.
We are not supposed to solve the equation. You just list the values of any.
You're not solving the equation. You're looking for any 3 coordinates that satisfy that equation to enable you draw that equation on the graph. Lisa, have you got me?
Yes.
Elizabeth.
Teacher, I was asking, like, even if we use different tickets, do we still end up with the same thing? Or
Even if
because
you
me,
use
I've
different,
used different coordinates of x.
it's okay. You're going to end up with the same line. It's okay. You'll end up with the same line. So I hope you're looking for the values of y and the others. When x is positive 2, y is negative. So somebody is saying here when x is positive 2, y is negative 2. Because you have 3x plus y is 4. 3x is 2 plus y is 4. This becomes 6 plus y is 4. And this becomes y is minus 2 when you collect like terms. Okay? So when x is 3, okay, you look for what happens to y when x is 3, what happens to y when x is minus 3. as I talk to Wendy.
Teacher, I got the answers.
You have the answers. You give me your y when x is 3.
For 3, I have -5. I mean, I have, yeah, -5. And then for
Okay,
-3.
stop on that one. Wait.
Okay.
Let me ask Yolanda. Give me. Thank you, Wendy. Yolanda,
Welcome.
give me your value of y when x is -3.
I'm asking a question.
Yolanda?
Teacher, I'm asking a question.
Oh, for you have a question. Okay, ask. You ask.
Teacher, I don't understand here where you said 3x plus y is equals to 4, then the next step. I don't understand why you put that 2 in brackets.
We are substituting.
Is it like a times or?
Yes, it is a times. It is a times.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to use the times symbol because it will look like the x. I hope you're okay, Yolanda. Pearl?
Yes.
Pearl?
I was answering.
Oh, yes, Pearl. You're answering?
Yes. When
Yes,
-3, when x is -3, y is 13.
Wonderful. Okay. So we have our minimum number of points to plot. Sulaina, you have something you want to?
Yes, teacher, can you change the value down of -3? I drew a smaller thing, smaller graph.
Okay. Let's do it this way. Let me add on another value. For you, which other value of x did you use?
I drew the same, but my graph is, I hadn't included +13, so we change this price that to get a smaller answer.
So you give me any
-1.
Sulaina, give me a -1.
Yeah.
Sulaina, you work out and give me the value of x when y. Sorry, the value of y when x is -1. As I talk to Phil.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, this is Elizabeth.
Teacher, I beg your pardon on the part whereby, like you are saying, what, with like you have a minimum number of, like, what is it, coordinates?
I was saying, and I'm saying, that to draw an accurate straight line, you need a minimum of 3 coordinates. You are at liberty to look for more than 3. But in the interest of time, 3 is enough. That's why you are saying now we are adjusting our table to 4 to accommodate Sulaina's concern. Okay?
Teacher, I got 7.
You got a 7.
I got 7. Yes.
Me too.
Good. Sulaina, thank you. I hope Alia, you are fine.
You're welcome.
So we have now 4 coordinates. We have yes.
I was kindly asking whether the values of y must be like that. When you change the values of x, does it cause a net change, or you lose the mark because of changing the values of x?
Each value of x has a special value of y on that line.
So it will not affect the graph.
Any values of x you use, they will give you the correct values of y. The graph will remain the same.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Chimoni.
Teacher, me, I did not use those coordinates. I used x, -2, there was 3 and -1. Then for y,
okay.
Under 2, I got 10. Under 3, I got -5. Under -1, I got 7. Naeve, I'm not in a straight line.
Atim, a minute. What x did you use?
-2, -2, 3, and -1.
And -1. So here you got
Now they are not in a straight line. There I got 10, then
good.
-5,
And the 7, eh?
then 7.
Yeah?
Yes. But they're not in a
So
straight line.
it is a straight line.
They're not in a straight line.
They are in a straight line. Olimba. You check. Actually, you are
It is.
Tabigan, you have tried, trust me.
the plotting bulungi. Minus 210. Or plotting 3 minus 5.
Kale, let me see.
You replot. In a straight line. Actually, you are helping me to answer Ali. Yes, Alicia. Before you can draw the line. Yes, Alia. The others draw the line. We already have the
Where she put where she put -2, it's supposed to be +2.
No, she has her choice. So that was her choice. So okay, let us leave it. We shall have the same line. It is okay. We can't think the same way.
Teacher, I have seen I had written the plotting badly.
Okay. So it's now a straight
I've
line?
realized. Yes,
Wonderful.
it's in a straight line.
Wonderful. So me what I'm having, there is 2 minus 2 somewhere here. I can see 3 minus 5. I think 3 minus 5 somewhere. Whichever way it is going through, I'm sure they are meeting here. Yeah, I'm very sure they are meeting.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Meeting them on.
No.
They must meet at 1 Alia.
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Teacher.
Alia, are you fine?
What if they tell us?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Alia, what if they tell you?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes. Ali, I think your audio has issues. When you clear it, you come back. Okay?
Teacher.
Please make sure every line is baptized for proper communication. Ali, I'm with you. It's you is not you. I think your audio have issues. Ali.
I was asking whether they can ask the values of y and then you have to find the values of x. What if they inverse and then they ask the values of x instead of the values of y when the values of y are given?
Here we are looking for the value of x and the value of y. When you finish drawing, your line, your 2 lines on the same graph, they will meet somewhere. Like for our example, they are meeting at 1, 1. 1, 1, it means x is 1 and y is 1. So your conclusion should be x is 1, y is 1, because this is the solution. This is what we are looking for. So don't leave the answer on the graph. No. When they meet, at that meeting point, there is a coordinate, read it, and translate it into this rating. I hope I have answered it.
Okay.
So I hope everyone is fine so that I can write the next example. But let me give you some 2 minutes to reconcile what you have. Good girls and good boys here. It's okay. Unless you go after what I do that see. But one job nice to put it in.
Teacher, are we using three numbers over 4?
3 is the minimum, so you can use 4, but let's use 3. But 3 is the minimum. You can use 4, 5.
Okay.
So I'm of the opinion that you try out, then later we shall share. I hope everyone is okay with it. Or you want us to do it still together, you're not fine.
Let's do it together.
Teacher,
We do it together.
We do it
getting
together.
a fraction.
Fine. No problem. So our first line is x plus, for line x plus 3y is 1. So can I invite somebody who is willing to share your choices of x? Wendy, yes,
Teacher,
Wendy.
2.
Teacher, -3.
-3.
2 and 1.
2 and 1.
Yeah.
So let us now try to fill in. Let's try to fill in. Let's look for the values of y. Whoever will be through, please you share with me what you have.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Me, like on X, I used -1. And I'm getting a fraction.
Okay. So when you put
Teacher,
-1,
me too. On X, I used 2. I'm also getting a fraction.
I'm also getting a fraction.
Getting -1 out of 3.
Fraction.
okay, now let me talk to you. All of you mute and I talk to you. That is a very good learning experience. It means as you're choosing your values of x, you have to be careful. You already have an idea. Siraji, mute your microphone. Good. You have an idea of factors, multiples. Okay, so as you're choosing your values of x, make sure you don't end up with the numbers that will give you fractions. So it means our choices of -3, 2, 1, and -1 are not the best. So we are going to adjust. Yolanda, you have a submission? Yolanda?
Teacher,
Hmm.
please explain to me how you substitute all these things. I've really not understood.
Okay, Yolanda, I'm going to answer you. Let me talk to Amwesigo. Amwesigo, you're going away? Okay, let me talk to Stacy.
Teacher, like how we have got fractions. What if you're plotting? Like, how do you plot? Like
Yeah,
the
so
fraction, do you change it? Like, do you change it to a decimal?
Okay, I'm going to answer you. Let me talk to Amwesigo. Amwesigo, you came back and ran away. You come back. Amwesigo, I want to give you an opportunity. Yes, please. You talk to me. Amwesigo. Amwesigwa, is it Amwesiga? You don't want to talk? Okay, let me talk to Crystal.
Teacher, what if you use the values of x, of y?
Wonderful. So there are two options. Either your choices of x should not result in two decimals, or since x has no factor, the coefficient is 1, then it's better we choose the values of y, so that we don't come up with fractions. Fractions are really a problem to plot. They are challenging. So I wouldn't wish somebody to go through that. But if you insist to use the fractions, then you must understand your scale so that you can map them accurately, which is not easy. Okay? So we have two options. We pick values of x that should not give us fractions. We should pick values of x that make this equation end up with a multiple of 3. Or, since x has no factor, then we pick values of y. We have those two options. Now, let me give you my values of x with reason. You can put down your hand. I'm removing all these ones are giving us the fractions. So let me pick, if I pick x as 4, when I put here 4, I'm also going to answer, I think it was Yolanda, how we get the values. If my x is 4, then I have 4 plus 3y is 1, giving me 3y as minus 3. You see how my y is minus 1, which is not a fraction? Because I knew when I put 4, I will get a multiple of 3. Which other values of x? If I have x as minus 2,
Excuse me.
This is who? I see many microphones and no hands. So let me talk to the hand. Please, you put up your hand so that I can be able to identify. Let me talk to you.
Teacher, the four how you substituted it, like on the side of it, is it a negative or a?
It is positive 4. I'm putting where x is already considered.
Okay, teacher, try to simplify for me so that I can understand.
How best can I simplify? The equation is x plus 3y. I have already picked my x as 4. So where there is x, I'm putting 4. I'm putting here 4. Where there is x, I'm putting 4. So I remain with the plus 3y is 1. Yolanda, are you with me?
Yes.
So now my duty is to look for y. I collect like terms. This will cross and you get 3y is 1 minus 4. Yolanda, are you okay with that step?
Yes.
1 minus 4 is minus 3. Then I divide by 3. Sorry. And I get y as -1. Yolanda, are you fine?
Thank
That's how I
you.
put this. Good girl.
Yes.
Let me go to Aliyah. Please, if you don't put up your hand, I want to be able to identify you and give you the chance to talk. All of us cannot talk. There will be echoes and nobody will understand the other. So let me talk to Aliyah.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I was suggesting, in case when you got this small number, like you round off that, it becomes simpler, like rounding off that point.
No, rounding off will make it even more. It will develop into more other issues. There will be more numerical issues. So me, I'm encouraging you pick values that don't bring you into fractions. Fractions are going to come up with more issues. You won't be able to come up with a good straight line. So let me talk to Anna. Sapphire, why don't you use your hand? Then I can give you a chance to talk. Let me talk to, yes, Sapphire, now you talk to me. That is most civilized. Sapphire? Then when I allow you to talk, please talk. We don't have the whole day. Okay, let me talk to Ada.
Teacher. So I've first found y using negative.
For you formed the y?
1.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be like getting different answers, eh?
Wait, pardon, you said you did what? Yolanda, start your discussion with me. Huh? Sorry. Ada,
Teacher,
Yolanda, sorry, let me first talk to Ada. Ada, you are back or no? Okay, let me talk to Yolanda. Yolanda, you come and we talk.
Teacher, where you put -2 on your x, I got 1 as my y.
You got 1 as your y, eh? That is true. Okay. So Yolanda, you're fine. A team?
Teacher, thank you. Me, okay, something came up. I've just come back, and I'm seeing very many things. But before you went, the points that I had chosen were they give me fractions. So how do you choose, like, which strategy do you use to make sure you do not choose numbers that will end up giving you fractions?
I gave you 2 strategies when you were not here. That if in the unknowns x and y, there is one that has a coefficient that is 1, and there is another one that has a coefficient that is not 1. Then you pick values of the variable whose coefficient is not 1. There you are most likely not to get fractions. The other strategy is, as you're picking values of x or y, make sure they are ending up with multiples of the other factor or coefficient of the other variable, whose values you're going to look for. Team, I think I've given you the 2 strategies. So you choose one.
Yes, teacher.
Or you can play around
Okay,
with both.
Okay, teacher. Because me at first, I was not getting, I was going to reach the paper and I start, can this one work? I cross. Can this one work? Thank you.
It can also be a try and error. Okay, let me talk to Nankabirwa. Nankabirwa. Let me talk to Hannah.
Excuse me, teacher, what's a coefficient?
A coefficient is a counting number, or it is an integer or any number. When I talk about numbers, they include the fractions. Any number, a constant, multiplying an unknown, which we call a variable. Like here, there is a coefficient of 3, there is a coefficient of 1, there is a coefficient of 3, there is a coefficient of -1. You don't know that.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Let me talk to Shakira. As people are completing, let me give you another value. Shuki, talk to me.
Excuse me, teacher.
Hey. I'm putting here 1. Yes, Shuki. Shuki, talk to me.
Excuse me, teacher. You had put the first numbers like the ones at x -3, 2, and 1. But when I tried them out, I got fractions. So I got them and put them on the y part.
Hey.
And
we yes, please. I'm listening to you.
And I got the x, like the x part as 7, then -8 and -2.
So Hannah, we ran away from the fractions because we realized they are going to bring numerical errors, and the straight line won't come out. That's why you see this extension of these values here, because these values are giving us whole numbers, which are perfect to deal with. So when x is 1, I'm sure each of you is getting a 0. So we are running away from this one because they give us fractions. So I want each of you to use these values here to draw that line. We have taken a lot of time on that line. So for line dx minus y is equal to -7. We can have different values now. So you choose, it can be yeah. But we said when you put up your hand. Mugabe, when you put up your hand, it becomes easier, but it's okay, you talk to me.
On the like the x axis, that number 2, I had got an answer.
You have an answer?
On the x, yes, for the +2.
I'm not
like I didn't get a fraction.
Yes, and we are running away from the fraction.
On the x-axis.
Mugabe.
Yes, but I didn't get a fraction. I got.
Okay, what is your submission? Repeat your submission. I'm not understanding.
I had got 1.
For for what? Are you giving us the answers?
But I've understood now.
Okay.
I got confused somewhere, but I've understood.
Okay, it's okay. Mina?
I want to ask, how did you get rid of the 3y? How did you get rid of the 3? To get
How did I do what?
How did you get rid of the 3?
Which 3 did I get rid of?
It said x plus 3y is equal to 1.
But
So the 3, after subtracting 1 with 1, we get 0, but the 3y is still there.
Yes. You were talking about this one, and when you put 1 here, Mina, is it what your concern is?
Yes, teacher.
And you get 3y is equal to 0, eh?
Yes.
Let's divide by 3 on both sides. If you get y as 0.
Oh, thank you, teacher.
Okay. Your hand is still up. Please, I'm not going to allow somebody to talk unless their hand is up and I pick you. Otherwise, we are running away from the civilized way. Let me talk from Kwab. Don't just unmute. Eh?
Sorry, teacher.
Lukwab, are you fine? Okay,
Yes.
Shahida.
For the second equation, I used -3 as one of the x coordinates.
Which other?
I also used 2 and 1.
This time you're lucky that it is this one has a coefficient of 1, eh? The magnitude coefficient of 1. So you won't have a fraction for whatever value of x. So what are the values of y?
-2.
Negative.
Negative 2, not positive 2.
Yeah, it's a negative.
2. Okay.
1.
1.
4.
Is it 1? No.
Negative
Not
1.
1. Nah.
Try it. -13.
But teacher, when did you change
Not positive 13.
-7?
And then 1 is 10.
3x minus 1 negative 7. When you put 2, you're going to get 6. Correct right terms, 6 plus 7 is what? Which is 13. Somebody at 1 is saying what?
It's 10.
It's 10, eh? Great. So please draw your graph and tell me where the 2 lines meet. That is our interest. So the reason why we get values from the positive and the negative, because we don't know whether they will meet in the, you're not sure whether they will meet here or here or here or there. Eh? So that's why we pick some values of x in the negative and some values of x in the what? The positive. So that you allow them to meet freely. So whoever would be through with where they are meeting, you put up your hand and you tell me, I'm patiently waiting.
Teacher?
Yes, please. This is Wendy. Yes, Wendy.
Excuse me, I'm done.
We're done, and then where are they meeting?
I got my x as -2 and my y as 1.
When that is very, I hope you have the same output.
I'm asking a question.
Okay, wait, ask them.
Is it okay to first use elimination method or substitution, then after getting the x and y, you just go to the graph?
No. If the question says graph, please go straight to drawing the graph. If it wants elimination, please do elimination. If it wants substitution, do substitution. But if the question is open, you do what you feel like. Stacy?
Teacher, those things of plotting like coordinates like 1, 0, or if it's 0, 1, those things confuse me. Like if it's 0 on x, like how to plot like those coordinates 0, 1, 1, 0, or 0 with anything.
Okay. Stacey, let me give you this idea and see if it can work for you. Any coordinate that starts with a 0 and ends with a value of 1, yeah? It must be on the y-axis at that value. Let me give you an example. 0, 3. So 0, 3 is here. 0 minus 2 is here. This is 3, this is minus 2. So any coordinate that starts with a 0 and ends with a value, that is the value of y. Just look for this value on the y-axis.
Yes.
I hope Stacy you're fine with that.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Then any value, okay, any value that starts with the x and ends with a 0, then look for just look for this value on the what? On the x-axis. That's where the point is.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
I hope it helped. You're welcome.
Yes.
Meeting up negative 2. Okay. Results. Yes, okay. 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is equal to so tumanyi kuba lwaki olukolakola buti tulina kubanga likusiro the space is the same. So 4 minus 1. Then minus 1 area, minus 2 Pero obuzibu bwakuba bwetaaga obuzibu bwa protein ozuulenga butya kandago njagala okugulafu naye gulafu ye kuba mulabika ebizibu mulina. Yes, Stacy, your hand is up. Stacy, your hand is still up, or we finished our business?
Sorry, yes, teacher.
Okay. Please, I'm giving you some 4 minutes to draw these lines, so that you see whether they meet at minus 2 and 1. Lwaki obukuba mu bbanga eno graph yakwatira space nti buno olaba obulivologi yebulifi bumaze dde okuwatiro ye skill ate kwe lwaki otandika okukola obuntu nga kuloto okekkereza ki nakwota zigulafu okubeekeko nga kiri space bulungi nga kijja kuwa ebintu byolaba. Tumanyi okay, Hey, somebody is saying, teacher, if they don't meet, what is the answer? If they don't meet, this is the line. So it's Melanie. Sorry. If they don't meet, and it is true they don't meet, then they don't have a common value. X is unknown and Y is unknown. But they may not meet because you have drawn your graph very small. Make sure you are using the whole graph paper so that your lines are running freely and they are meeting wherever they have to meet. I hope Melanie have answered. Actually, we can use our chat room here. For those, what time does the lesson end? The lesson I'm told is 1.5 hours. So if you started your lesson at 11:30, then it ends at 1. This was from Alicia. Alicia, are you tired? Are you able? I think those are the messages I have in the chat. And I have answered them. Let me talk to Stacy. I can see your hand. Stacy?
Teacher, yes. Teacher, help me with a smaller X value that can give me like a smaller coordinate. Okay. Because I've tried and I'm getting like very big.
You are on
smaller
this
X, I mean an X. Yes?
on the second line, on the second line.
Yeah, for the second line.
Okay. Let me give you two. I can use X is 0. When I put X is 0 here, I'll get Y as 7. Stacy, you can confirm. Then.
Oh, thank you, teacher.
Yep. I think you want to run away from 13. Eh?
Yes.
Then I can have -1 here. If I put -1, that will be -3 plus 7, that will be 4. You can have all these. They will give you a better line. I hope Stacy, you're fine.
Yeah, thank
you. Okay, thank you, girl. Those who are through with the B, with A, you can try B. Just take your time. Try it. It will be our last, I think, because we have around 19 minutes to end our lesson.
Where is the teacher said you do B.
Whenever things are freezing.
Mine.
I thought of
Nantom, are you through with part B?
Yes,
Okay, what values do you get?
x is equal to 0, and then y is equal to 3.
Okay. So Nantom, give me your table values. What values of the table did you use for the first line?
0,
You got the x and what? 0?
negative 1,
Negative 1
and a
and 1, eh?
yes.
And the 1, eh?
Yes.
So which gave you, when x is 0, you get 3. When x is minus 1, did you get a fraction somewhere?
Yes.
I'm seeing yeah, you plotted it. Okay. So you got 11 over 2. And when it is 1 here,
You get a
you got
half.
an half. You plotted the fractions and you were fine. Anyway, this is 5.5. It's okay. It's okay. So I'm going to wait for another hand, then I will discuss with the hand.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Asibapati kumi nina. Tensa.
Asia mute.
You guys, what was your value?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
On the second equation, is it 2x minus 3y is equal to negative 7 or negative 9?
Negative 9.
Excuse me, teacher, my hand is up.
Yes, sir. Team. Team, yes, please.
one more teacher. Teacher,
Mm.
me, my coordinates, I use the ones for y instead. Yes, to get
Okay.
x.
So what y you
I
use?
use negative. -2, -1, and 1.
1. So with the -2, what do you get?
Yes,
With the y as
4,
-2, what x did you get?
2.
You got 2. Okay. And with y as -1,
y as -1 though.
you got what?
It was a fraction. It was a fraction.
Which fraction? It's okay, give me the fraction.
Not divisible.
Okay, 8/5.
Yes, that.
Then when it is 1, is it also
Yes.
a fraction? I'm saying a fraction.
Equals 1. Yes, exactly.
So now you can adjust your table. You use this one, use this one, since they are not fractions.
Okay.
Is it okay? And let me give you another value here. Let me look at another value. You can use x as -2 here to give you something.
Teacher.
Yes, please.
It's okay.
Okay. Okay, now let me talk to Peru. Peru.
I use different values of x.
And they are given equal numbers or fractions?
Whole numbers.
Like which x did you use?
I used 0, 2, and 4.
You used 0, 2, and 4. Okay, so 4 gave you what?
-7.
-7, eh? It is okay. Here, it's okay. Yolanda? Yolanda? Yolanda, I'm with you?
Teacher, on my
Yolanda, you too?
Yes, teacher, on my when I was substituting the x, I used 0, 2, and -1.
You're on the first line, eh?
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And I'm saying, are you on the first line?
Teacher, can you hear me?
Yes, maybe you cannot hear me. For you, can you hear me? Yolanda, you
Yes,
can
teacher,
hear
I can hear you.
And I'm saying, are your values for the
Yes.
first line? Your values are for the first
My
line?
values.
Are they for this
Yes,
line?
for x. No, yes, they are for 5x
second line?
plus 2y is equal to 6.
Yolanda, we are together, I think. So for me, what I'm doing, I'm adjusting values and giving you a variety where you don't have fractions. So then you got easy. Let me talk to Namovir.
Teacher, on
Yes,
on the first line, I used the same values as Asi and got the same answers. But then on the second line, my x I used first I used -2 and 0 and 1.
And you on -2, you got x as what?
5 out of 3.
5 out of 3.
My 0 as 3.
And 1?
And my 1 as 11 out of 3.
11 out of 3. Okay, you're fine. The challenge that they are fractions, eh? So let me give you variety to give, so that you don't have fractions.
Okay, teacher.
Let me talk to Nankabirwa. Nankabirwa.
Teacher, I can't see anything. Like I can't see your board. It's just dark.
There is a problem with your side. Your side.
There is a problem with your side. You try.
I can now see it.
Let me talk to Nyakatura.
For the second equation, I used my x as -3. As I also used 0 and I also used 3.
You also use 3. So with -3, what did you get?
1.
1, good. And with 3, what did you get?
5.
Wonderful. So we already have the non fractions. Eh? Let us use those ones. I think they're enough. Thank you so much. But Atim's hand is still up. Atim, what is wrong?
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Crystal Kaihura.
Teacher, I used Hannah's method of 0 and I'm getting -3.
You on the second line?
Yes.
Let us try out 2x minus 3y is -9. When you put here 0, this is going to be 0 minus 3y is -9. You get -3y as -9 divided by -3. You get y as 3.
Sorry, teacher, not seen the -9.
Okay, Crystal. Alia, the others you're drawing because you already have the points. The others just draw the lines. Let me talk to Alia. Alia tayagala kwogera. Let me talk to Elizabeth.
Teacher, for the second line, I used 0, 2, and 4. And then 2 under 2, I got -13 out of 3. Then with 4, I got 17 out of 3. So teacher, how are we supposed to plot?
And that's why I'm saying, with fractions, it is a bit tricky. But I've given you a variety of other values that you have to do fractions. So please accommodate ours that not to give you fractions.
Okay.
Wendy?
Teacher, like I used other values and my answer was x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 3.
Good. Okay.
Okay.
That is our answer. I hope I have answered each and everyone. Please keep safe. We meet when God says we do.
Thank you, teacher, for teaching us.
You're welcome, Martin.
Thank you for the lesson.
For teaching.
Thank
you for the lesson.
May God bless you abundantly.
Thank you for the lesson.
God bless you abundantly too.
Amen.
Bye. Nice afternoon.
How are you
Bye.
doing?
Have a nice day, teacher.
Nice lunch.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thank
teacher.
you for the lesson.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.
When you're lonely. How are you doing?
Hi.
God.
Okay.
Condoleezza.
Yes.
That figure you.
Yes, my name.
Gwe hauda tuveeko.
So we are the part of the problem.
They are speaking to you.
Rouge.
Yes, Amina. Yes.
We stop baptizing yourself.
Kaihura.
Here, stop baptizing.
No, bad voice.
Yes.
No. Stop. Then stop.